All right, and we are
No
here.
time for chit chat.
All right, Bloodlines and Betrayal, the CCSU, the 1951 college basketball point shaving scandal. And Dave, when you told me about this, I honestly was not close to being an expert. And after reading about it, uh, wow, I can't believe how deep it went, how
Yep.
many universities were involved, and this had apparently gone on for years.
This is my father's alma mater. That's how I know.
Oh, are you serious?
Yep. CCNY used to
CCSU?
be this high academic school. It's changed dramatically. It's not really a good school anymore. But it was at that time. Well, this is before his time, uh, but yeah, it was a high academic school, very very reputable school academically, and then obviously phenomenal, like legendary basketball coach, legendary basketball players.
Okay. Because
For that time.
I mean, this, from what I've read, this said that point shaving
Yes.
and fixing games
Yes.
had gone on since the late 20s to the 30s. And it was like prominent, with gamblers and bookmakers
Yep.
to do this. I had no idea it was so widespread. And
I want to read this background real quick. It's quick.
please do.
Yeah, yeah. So this is per ChatGPT, but this is pretty accurate. CCNY was a public college in Harlem, tuition free, academically demanding, heavily Jewish and working class in the
Oh,
1940s. Basketball was the city sport, and Madison Square Garden was his cathedral. At the time, almost all the top basketball programs were New York City teams, from CCNY to LIU to St. John's to what's the school that starts with an H? It's in the city.
Hudson.
Not Hudson. I can't put this in my mind, but throughout the city and Long Island, Wagner, all of them. So they're all powerhouses. Um, Coach Nat Holman was a star with the original Celtics team and became CCNY's coach in 1919. He was
Okay.
as an innovator in passing, spacing team play. His assistant, Harold Bobby Sand, recruited almost entirely from New York City public schools, literally kids from the sidewalks of New York. CCNY's roster wasn't blue blood recruits. It was tough city kids who could hoop and could handle the school, which was a pretty demanding school. In 1949, 1950, CCNY had the Dream Team. Ed Warner, Ed Roman,
Correct.
Irv Dambra, Floyd Lane, Norman Manger, among others. They were 24-5, fast but unselfish style, very good defense. Back then, both NIT and NCAA were major titles.
Correct.
And the NIT in New York was
the bigger one, right?
Right. CCNY, what they did in 1950 has never been repeated. So to this day,
Nope.
75 years later, no one's still done it, because that's partially because of the schedule and
Sure.
But the time they won the NIT in Madison Square Garden, then also won the NCAA tournament. They beat Bradley in both tournaments, NIT and then the NCAAs. Bradley was a powerhouse back then, believe it or not. I think that's Indiana, I think. They were and still are the only team in history to win both national championships in the same season. On top of that, the roster was racially integrated, black and white players on the floor together at a time when a lot
Very
of
true.
Southern programs wouldn't play integrated opponents. CCNY was held up as a model of meritocratic, urban, and multi-ethnic basketball. I'll get to the scandal part. Let's see, New York City.
Well, the scandal is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe how deep it goes. And I can't believe, like, I'm reading that the New York City police contributed in the cover up as well.
Right. You're talking about with the players, you mean, or for the
Yeah. They had interviews that were done, that were recorded. They recorded telephone conversations, and they had detailed accounts of, substantial fixes involving players from every major college in and around New York City. And they got these tapes destroyed, or they were basically gone. They lost the evidence that would have implicated even more people.
right. So I'll read you like just a quick summary. So yeah, it was New York City was the center of basketball and sports gambling, which obviously was illegal at the time. Huge Madison Square Garden games were huge betting places. Temptation to shave points, not necessarily lose, but less than the betting spread was everywhere. Gamblers or mob-linked fixers approach basketball players instead of asking them to throw games. They asked them to control the margin or victory or defeat. Players might be a few $100 to $1,000 per game. Serious money for obviously these poor kids, poor financially, meaning. As early as 1944-45, Lenny Hausman tried to bribe a CCNY player. Lenny Hausman tried to bribe a teammate to dump a game. When reported, was kicked off the team. Never went public. No investigation. Gamblers also tried to fix a CCNY Syracuse game in 48.
Yes, I read that too.
Yep.
Syracuse.
Betting heavy on Syracuse and losing when CCNY covered. So there was already pressure. In 1951, they had a point shaving investigation. CCNY was the center of it. Junius Kellogg was the first. The case didn't start at CCNY. It started at Manhattan College. Junius Kellogg, Manhattan's first black player, was offered money by a former teammate, Hank Poppy, to shave points. Kellogg reported it to Manhattan's coach and to authorities and agreed to wear a wire.
Oh.
That sting, combined with a tip from Max Case, sports editor at New York Journal.
The New York Journal was key, yes.
Yes, gave Manhattan DA Frank Hogan the opening to move on gamblers. On February 17, 1951, Hogan announced the first arrests in the point shaving ring.
I saw that.
Key CCNY players, I think Ed Warner might have been the best player. Ed Warner, Ed Roman, Irv, Damrock, Floyd Lane,
Alvin Roth.
Taking money to shave points in certain games between 47 and 50 against weaker teams. They were heavily favorites. They described payments of $1,500. That's a lot for back then.
Equivalent to $20,000 today.
That's incredible amount of money.
That is.
No wonder it happened. $1,500 per game. And this is one of the reasons why you do well.
That's why it's going on now, even.
Right. That's why people are worried about it going on now. So $1,500 per game per player. In some cases, worth tens of thousands. Today's money. The main gambling figure tied to the scandal, New York schools, including CCNY and LIU, was mob-connected bookmaker Salvatore
Sollazzo. Yep.
Along with fixer Eddie Gard. They were later.
Eddie Gard was indicted for bribery. Yep.
So
And
Salazzo,
then
obviously Italian. Was Eddie Gard Jewish?
I don't know. And then Harvey Schaff was also indicted for attempting to bribe a teammate of his named Jim Brasco. Salazzo and Gard were indicted for paying a total of $30,000 in bribes, which is equivalent to 396 grand today over 2 seasons, over the prior 2 seasons. And then the other person involved, what's that?
It's mind blowing. What's also interesting about it is
I'm blown away by this. I had no idea.
The players were like literally a cross section of racial and demographic groups.
Yes. Yep.
In New York City, which was what made them so not obviously they were good, but so popular because of that. So they touched in every single kind of community, which New York City at the time was broken out. You know what I mean? Like the African Americans were in one area, Jewish people were in one area, the Italians in one area. So they were very popular, as were some of the other teams as well. New York State really popular because of that. But CCNY in particular had that like basically New York cross section.
Correct, because they had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, 35 players from 7 colleges taking bribes to fix 86 games in 17 states.
Which when they go over it's mind-boggling. And then
CCNY, Manhattan, NYU, they were Division I at the time. LIU, Bradley, Toledo, Kentucky.
Yep. University of Toledo, Kentucky, Bradley, yep.
Every player involved was blackballed from the NBA for life. Wow.
Yep. And in the NBA, I read that there was even a referee, Saul Levy, an NBA referee in his early 40s, was suspended and then arrested for arranging the outcome for fixing 6 different NBA games in 1950. He succeeded in fixing games November 11th between the Celtics and Washington Capitals, November 12th between the Celtics and Indianapolis Olympians, which is the game that caught him in the act, and then November 19th between the Knicks and Syracuse Nationals. But he failed in fixing games on November 4th between the Lakers, the Minneapolis Lakers, and Washington Capitals, November 15th between the Baltimore Bullets and Philadelphia Warriors, and November 18th between the Knicks and Warriors. And Levy admitted to associating with Salvatore Salazzo and Eddie Gard, one of the implicated players from Long Island. And during this period of time, Levy was receiving $1,000 from the duo, and he became an accomplice during this period. His arrest led to a modification to the Wilson-Moore Act of 1945 to include a provision for referees. After Levy was freed upon his prison sentence, he was initially given, he was murdered for not upholding his part in rigging those 3 games in the NBA. This man was murdered.
Yeah, that's how crazy it was at the time. So, so these players not only obviously they took the money, but they probably were scared.
Well, it's the mob. I mean, it was in New York. It was the mob in New York in the 50s. I mean, that's when Lucky Luciano, and it was crazy back then.
So so it's interesting, and CCNY, because they were so good, they really got the blunt.
They got hammered because
press.
of it. Yes,
yes, because they were the best team. So major conference. This is crazy. The responses. This is amazing. So the institutional response to CCNY was brutal. NCAA and major conferences effectively ostracized them.
Yep.
CCNY was banned from playing in postseason tournaments or major televised showcase games for years.
Could not be on television. Yep.
Madison Square Garden, that was their home stage, cut them loose as the marquee attraction. And it basically overnight took away a lot of the cachet of New York City basketball for a while, because obviously.
Well, I mean, you read about it. Alvin Roth, 6 months in a workhouse, suspended for his service in the U.S. Army, permanently banned from the NBA. Roman, 6 months in prison, suspended from the Army, permanently banned from the NBA. Ed Warner, 6 months in prison at Rikers Island, permanently banned from the NBA.
I mean, think of
He was. He was. And
they came down harder on him.
Yes.
Because he was the star. It's such a different time, It's like
to go to Rikers. I know. I mean, I like if they sent Chauncey Billups to Rikers, like wow.
Like they would never do that.
They didn't get bail. They didn't get anything.
Who was the best player last year from Duke?
Cooper Flagg.
It's like sending Cooper Flagg. That would be like sending Cooper Flagg to Rikers. That would never happen. I mean, that wouldn't happen now. It's amazing.
And how about this? Erwin Dambrot was attending Columbia University College of Dental Medicine at the time of his arrest. And he received a suspended sentence for realizing the enormity of his misstep, permanently banned from the NBA. And he was selected seventh in the draft by the Knicks in the 1950 draft. Never got to play.
I'm sure a lot of these guys would have been drafted.
I'm amazed that there's like 7 of them on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 who were banned from the NBA who would have played. They had so much talent. Like I never realized how much talent they had.
Well, the coach he had been there over 30 years at the time. He was kind of like the only way I could equate him would be like it's like Gino Auriemma,
exactly.
Like that's how much of a legend he was for the time, and he basically now the one thing was he was never involved. He didn't know which is. They said he was.
I don't believe that. How could you not know?
He was so old. Well, they said he was so old school, and this is old school when it was old school, by the way.
Yeah, right.
So could you imagine what old school meant in 1950 when people say someone's old school now? I can't even imagine when the discipline and how they probably didn't even dribble the ball unless they had to.
Well, there was one coach who was approached about throwing a game, and he went after the guy. He wanted to punch him. He tried to punch him after being
these guys were probably. I'm guessing these coaches were probably ex-military, tough.
They're all. You're right. They're all ex-military.
Yeah, tougher than nails. But
the money is. I mean,
he was ahead of his time too, in the sense that he immediately racially integrated his team.
He did. He was smart.
There was
when
never
nobody else was doing it.
Yes, he racially integrated his team, and one of the things people don't realize back then, besides obviously African Americans who were great basketball players, the one of the most dominant groups were actually the Jewish players.
Yes, because
they were also among
prominent and they played the most. Yes.
Right. So, because they played the most because of living in the city.
Correct.
And Ed Warner was like widely as being like the most physically dominant player. It's funny the heights though. Like he was 6'3" as a power forward. Like I mean. And
then you look at it. I mean Bradley had a ton of players involved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right, the captain of Dambrot, the guy you said he was the captain of the team.
Yeah.
He did become a dentist. So it says the scandal followed him forever. Ed Warner, he He never got to be a pro. He struggled in life after. He became a tragic story, obviously. Ed Roman, he admitted it, suspended sentence, banned from professional, stayed out of the spotlight after. Floyd Lane, I think he was, I believe, was he African-American, Floyd Lane? I think he might have been, it doesn't say here, but he was the guard from the team. And let's see, he later coached CCNY. That's interesting.
You're saying after this he coached?
Yes, came back. I guess they
oh my God.
CCNY. Eddie Gardo was the okay, so he's Italian.
Yeah.
The guy was with
But I mean, Kentucky, the number of Kentucky players is huge.
Right, and were they under Rupp at the time? I guess maybe.
Adolph Rupp was the head coach. Yep. Daryl Barnstable, suspended sentence, probation, permanently banned from the NBA, barred from pro sports for 3 years, and he was selected by the Boston Celtics in the 1950 draft. Ralph Beard, permanently banned. Alex Groza, permanently banned. They got suspended sentences, so they didn't have to serve time. But these are guys that were all, we're drafted.
It's interesting because CCNY basically right after this, because of being embarrassed, they de-emphasized athletics. They cut scholarships.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So do they exist today?
D3, right after, very shortly after that.
Do they exist to this day, CCNY?
What's that?
Do they exist?
Yeah,
they do.
It's now like a crappy school. D3, crappy school. Like probably they might have even changed like why is now called Q. Their like MBA program is called CUNY Baruch, which is like one of the best in the country. But the city public undergrad school, CCNY, not
well,
very.
And it also
says, who went there? You know who's the most famous person that went there? Colin Powell. Colin Powell.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, he was in school at the same time as my father.
Oh my God. And it also says that there was a lot of investigative journalism about it. And one of the writers, Charlie Rosen, suggested players from St. John's were involved in fixing games. And they never got charged. And, there were main players that were approached by gamblers. And the gamblers involved were apprehended and were punished in order to prevent future corruption. But the St. John's players never were. And ultimately, it says the scandal did little to reduce corruption or bribery involved in college sports with gambling. And CCNY coach Nat Holman wrote in 1954 that gambling in college basketball was as rampant as ever, and that the game would once again be tainted by scandal. And then in 1961, an even broader scandal resulted in the arrests of 37 students from 22 different colleges and implicated hundreds more. I had no idea the depth.
Basketball is one of the easiest sports.
Yes, to manipulate. Yes. I agree. Well, that's why you saw with recently what happened. Guys would pull themselves out of games and say, "Oh, I'm hurt," and they get prop bets because they weren't scoring points. They or they give insider information. Hey, LeBron's not playing tonight, so bet the under. Like it's so easy. And it's spreading like we don't know the full extent of it. Like even to go to UFC,
legal. Since gambling has become legal, that's the
worst thing.
As much as money was in it when it was illegal, it's 1,000-fold once it becomes legal.
Well, because college kids can bet on it now legally, and I believe pro athletes can bet on it as long as it's not their own sport. And
which is wild.
there is a documentary. I'm going to try to watch this.
I mean, I saw the documentary.
Oh, you did? Okay. It's on
very
HBO.
good.
I'm going to try to watch
it. You would enjoy it.
I'm blown away by this.
It's surprise. Well, I mean, it's like
because it reminds me, like I was into the quiz show Scandal in 1950.
That was a great movie.
I love Ralph Fiennes in that movie, but I mean, I had no idea that it involved so many schools.
Oh, Ed Warner was African American. Okay,
and it was a coordinated effort. I don't know how they coordinated this. This is back then when there's no cell phones, computers, communication. Like, you're having to meet with these people in person to coordinate this.
You know what? I think about it now.
I don't know how you do it.
You know why they threw the book at Ed Warner? Because he was African American. They probably came down.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, and that's why they came down so hard on him. Probably because there definitely was probably a bit of, or maybe didn't have as good a lawyer or something. You know what I mean?
I mean, 6 months in Rikers Island. Rikers.
That's crazy.
Rikers is the worst of the worst.
He did,
and then he's permanently banned from the NBA.
He played some sort of backyard, not backyard, but semi-pro basketball.
I'm anxious to see what he did for the rest of his life. He died in 2002. And
wow.
Yeah, he played in the Eastern Professional Basketball League for the Hazleton Pros, the Scranton Miners, and the Trenton Capitals from 1953 to 1961. And he won championships in 1958 and 1959. And then he ended up, how about this? In the 1960s, he was again imprisoned for attempting to sell heroin. Oh. He then officiated high school basketball games until he got into a car accident in 1984 and became partially paralyzed.
Oh, my God.
And then he died in September of 2002. What a freaking... This is sad.
This is sad.
This is really sad. But I mean, when you look at the money involved, you're talking, like it said, $396,000 in today's money.
He went to the most powerful high school basketball pro. He went to DeWitt at the time.
Oh, he did.
DeWitt Clinton, which was, the only reason I know is because my father.
Yes, I know DeWitt Clinton. Yes.
At the time, it was 7,000 boys.
Wow. Wow.
How good do you have to be just to and let me check my facts here so I'm correct in the size. Maybe it was 5,000. It was something crazy. How many
I just, Jesus. 35 players were permanently banned from the NBA.
How big
out of all the schools?
It's let me see.
And then the Bradley players revealed that they could take easy courses such as gymnastics, elementary badminton, elements of tumbling, golf, boxing, and square dancing to maintain academic credits and graduate on time.
Yeah,
can you imagine that?
Okay,
going to UConn? Yeah, what?
Wow. The school peaked at 12,000 students.
The high school?
In the 1930s. But it was down to, by the mid 40, let me see. It was 1,000 people a class. It was in the 40s. It was down to 5,000 people, 5,000 kids That's a huge high school. And then,
Jesus.
but yeah, so he was obviously first of all just to become a star in that high school with as big as it
Was
Imagine
huge. Yeah.
How many kids try out for basketball on that team?
I
High
can't
school.
even imagine.
There had to be 400 kids trying out for basketball.
Because
So,
this is before the age of AAU and travel teams. This was all they had.
That's all they had. I'm sure they had something back then, just because city basketball. So I'm not saying.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of guys played on the streets, and that's what they were known for.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of them.
But how about this? The other thing, the one of the fixers, Eli Klabisky, had a heart attack while awaiting trial. So all the Toledo players had the charges dropped. However, they were still permanently banned from the NBA. Like I cannot believe I can't believe the extent of this and the coordinated
it's like the Black
effort.
Sox scandal.
All right. I disagree with, because I am conspiracy theorist on the Black Sox scandal, just so you know.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm not.
Because the Black Sox scandal, I believe they were approached, and that most of them allegedly denied taking any involvement, and they got in trouble because they took the meeting with the fixer. But this just shows, like, you know, what Maria, if she wanted to make $1 million, she could fix a game. Yeah. I mean,
Floyd Lane just died last year at 95.
Floyd Lane.
Oh,
wow.
The guard.
Yeah, I see.
He coached at CCNY for 14 years.
That's the one you talked about. Yes, yeah, I see.
Wow.
I see that. Holy shit.
He lived to 95.
He just died.
These guys were like
he was black.
The best of the best athletically at the time. I mean,
and like they all ended up having to play in that Eastern League. He played in it too, with the Hazleton Hawks, the Wilkes-Barre Barons. I mean, that's what they resorted to. They had to play in the EPBL because they couldn't go to the NBA, and most of them were drafted.
Yeah.
They were drafted in the 1950 draft. I had no idea that this was so extensive.
I told you it was going to be a good story.
Yeah, I mean, it blows me away, but it definitely explains why. Like, I still question games now.
Dambrot went to the high school that my father went to, high school, which was 5,000 students. He was 6'4", 175. He went there. He must have been. Was he Jewish or no? I don't know if he was or he wasn't, but he went to the same high school. And then he. How about this? He died at 81. He lived at these guys were, for the time,
they all
were
lived,
like,
yeah.
They were all freak athletes. They were for the time. Like, because it wasn't like these guys were lifting back then. They all went to these gigantic public high schools and somehow became super. You know, in order to play even on these high schools, you have to be good. And he lived in Mendham, New Jersey. Died in Summit, Parkinson's disease at 81. Wow!
Oh my God!
They're all. Although this guy, I think he became a dentist. They're all like. Lloyd Lane, who was the other one? Ed Roman. Let me look at him up. That was the center.
Yes.
Ed Roman. 6'6". These guys are actually big for. I mean, people.
That's huge. That's big now.
6'4", 6. Their guards were 6'4", 6'4", and 6'2". I'm for. They would be as big as guys now.
We don't. Solo ball isn't that tall.
It's crazy. They must have been. Where did he come from? He went to Taft High School also. which I said was 5,000 kids
Yeah.
at the time. I mean, to not get cut, you know what I'm saying? And to start on those teams in high schools, they were so big. It was like going to like just to make.
It's like going to a university.
It was like going to a university, and so they were so good. They probably played all the time, I'm guessing. But wow, I mean, he was 6'6", 220. Steve.
Yeah, that's like the kid on UConn who's 7'1" right now.
He's like LeBron before it was LeBron, you know?
Yeah.
He also played in that EYBL.
That was the only other option they had. There was nothing really like overseas. There was no ABA at the time. I mean, that was it. And all these guys, it's just sad.
Got his doctorate. Ed Roman got his doctorate at NYU. And was a teacher of physical education. 3 children. I guess he looks like he died of leukemia in 1988. Jeez. But he actually lived a fairly long life too. These guys,
I'm sure they all did as like punishment.
These guys were like freaks for the time.
Well, because I mean, you remember back then and even today, the worse than murder is fixing a sports game.
Right. I know, which sounds crazy, right?
It's true. There's nothing more un-American than fixing any sports game. You can go out and shoot people, but goddamn, if you fix a basketball game or a football game, you are the worst person ever.
Time Pete Rose, forget it. Never.
Pete Rose, I like that today. It blows my mind to this day. They let the guy die, and they wouldn't put him in the Hall of Fame.
They wouldn't put him in.
It's like, why? 40 years. I mean, he was suspended or banned from baseball. You're not going to put the guy in? Like,
oh my God.
When is enough?
Dude, you know who they're wait, let me just
it's like it's lifetime punishment, really? It's like with Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens not getting in the Hall of Fame.
That's unbelievable.
And none of them, like Bonds flunked one drug test. Clemens never did. Palmeiro, I think, flunked one. Like, but it's just there's zero chance that any of these sports writers, because they're so old and stuck in their ways, you know, Mark McGuire, they're never going to get into the Hall of Fame. And it still makes me question today, are games fixed? They have to be. They have to be. There's so many prop bets. There's so many betting sites. You can go through a friend or a third party. As long as they keep things quiet, nobody knows. It's the ones like the UFC guy whose friend told another friend, blabbed his mouth, and then all the money shifted that got him caught.
Listen to the size of their start. This is the starters.
It's CCNY.
Yeah, this is the starters for back then.
Yeah.
And if you saw this lineup now, you would be like, oh, these guys could be fine. 6'3", 190, 6'6", 220, 6'5", 185, 6'4", 210, 6'4", 175.
I mean, that's a big lineup for today. There's teams that don't have lineups like that today. In college.
Probably because all of them came from public schools in New York City. It's the survival of the fittest to even just be the best player in your high school team had to be so.
The work that you had to put in, I mean.
Right. It wasn't like, and they didn't weightlift back then. So these guys were huge.
They just played and they were massive.
Massive big athletes for back then, you know, like
I
wonder if those guys worked out. I wonder if those guys had modern stuff. Would they be just as good as? Would they be just as good as the players now?
Absolutely, they would.
They probably would because they're as big.
if they had the same training techniques and played year round, coaching 100%.
That's what I'm amazed at is the size is up.
The size is incredible.
They don't have a 7-footer, but they have
But
all.
those are rare. I mean, you can get by with a 6'6" guy. I mean, if you run. I mean, if you're not a half court team. I
Roth
mean,
was 6'4", 210. The guard, the guy that got.
UConn doesn't have a guard 6'4", 210. I mean, Solo Ball is in
smallest. Floyd Lane was the smallest at 6'2", and then they had some backups that were a little smaller guys. They had another guy that was 6'7" that was a reserve.
Yeah,
man,
Solo Ball's not 6'4". I mean, look at UConn. I mean, we don't have guys that size. I mean, Caravan is 6'8", but otherwise, we don't have that size.
It says here,
skill to go with it.
Their front line was huge for that era. 6'6", 220, 6'5", 185, 6'3", 190, plus 6'7" off the bench.
Off the bench.
That would be big. That'd be decent size for now.
Off the bench.
For college, at least, not pros, but college. Backcourt 6'4", 6'4", 6'2". What?
They didn't recruit anyone under 6 feet tall.
Well, they had a backup that was 5'11". They had a 6'1" and a 6'1", but I don't know how much those guys played. But they that's
and they're still, you said, the only team ever to win the NIT and the NCAA tournament.
Think how much that shook up public school basketball and all the New York City teams, which were back then by far the best. You know, as
by far. And I still, I think that it's got to go on today. It's got to go on like every week. How could it not? There's too much money involved.
ChatGPT lists who the players whom they're most like in a modern player.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. You want to know?
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know how accurate this is, but Ed Warner, the power forward, is like Draymond Green.
Wow.
Ed Roman, the center. I don't know who this is. Al Horford. I don't know.
Yeah, he was a Duke guy.
Okay. Irv Dambrot, they said, is like Gordon Hayward or Kyle Anderson. Oh, Kyle Anderson.
Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his brother. That is. That's Jamar Wilkins' brother, Kyle Anderson.
Yes. Oh my God.
Floyd Lane is like Andre Miller from Utah, I think, right?
Utah.
Originally.
Yep.
Alvin Fats Roth is like Marcus Smart or Josh Hart.
Wow, UConn guy.
Yep.
Josh Hart, Syracuse guy.
Norm Major is like Joel Ingles, Maxi Kleiber. I don't know who that is. And I think that was all the starters. Yeah. Yep.
How long did they only play like 2 years together?
Yeah, I'm trying
because of the scandal. Because they obviously couldn't have played 4.
I don't know.
Because they must have played the 1950 where they won, and then 51 is when they all got in trouble.
Yeah.
So you're talking about guys that didn't even play 4 years together. Imagine if they played 4 years.
Let's see, stats wise, what were their stat lines? Ed Warner averaged 14.8, Ed Roman 12.8, Irv 10.6, Floyd Lane 9, Fats 8.2, Norm Major 7.2. They all kind of contributed. Even the backups contributed.
Well, yeah, even back then when the scores
scoring was different. They averaged, they averaged much lower.
Yeah,
55 to 65 points a game.
It was a different game. It was a completely different game.
What the career stats are for these guys.
So they definitely did not get the full 4 years out of them.
Well, some of them might have been underclassmen. Let's see. Hard to get all the information.
Well, I mean, it's 1950.
Yeah, I guess they go off the newspapers.
It wasn't documented.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of biases. They don't have a ton of box score information. They have some here and there, but that's an interesting case. It's amazing how it changed. It changed over time. I mean, New York City was still powerful. Those schools in like to the 60s.
Yeah, but it's not nearly what it was.
It slowly eroded, and now it's really just St. John's, right?
John's. Yeah, it's just St. John's. And hopefully LIU comes along.
LIU's had some, but LIU used to be a powerhouse too.
They did. And St. John's is the last hope. So CCSU is a D3 school.
CCNY?
NY is a D3 school. And they just play, and they were one of the best powerhouses in the country, and they got slammed the hardest, and it ended up completely shifting the direction of the entire university. That's what that would be like.
That's mind blowing, right?
Like Duke dropping to Division III.
Yep.
And saying like, we're not gonna focus on athletics anymore. We're just we're gonna be a small D3 academic school.
Well, yeah, that's what that's what the Ivies did that too. They were the most powerful football programs.
They did, yes. They all made the decision.
Here's their records leading, and then obviously they went to in 52. They went to Division III, so I don't think you can go through that. But it has let's see. 44 to 45, 12-4, 14-4, 46, 47, 17-6, 18-3, 17-8, 24-5 was when they won both national championships. Then they were 12-7 the year after, but I guess 51. Then after that, probably the bottom probably dropped.
Well, they were throwing games.
I wonder what happened to what the coach ended up doing after that. He was old probably by then.
Yeah. He probably was just so like shocked. Like, how did this happen under my nose?
Right. I feel like those guys were aloof back then, probably.
Oh, of course they would be.
Like they wouldn't know exactly what was going on.
And they said that, and reading the article, they said that this had gone on since the 30s. They were fixing games. The mob was involved. That's what it makes me question everything that goes on today.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I always think Roger Goodell gets on the bat phone and says like, "I don't want the fucking Bills in the Super Bowl." Like, there's no way.
Yeah, that's what people do. Nat Holman, the coach, was nicknamed the Professor. He became head coach at 23.
Wow. 23.
Yep. His concepts. Here's the concept. His team was filled with mostly Jewish and black players. Holman's.
Wow, which was taboo back then.
That was probably. I mean, could you imagine? There are probably teams that never wanted to play them because of those two things.
Be like having the team of Muslims right now.
I don't know, pretty good basketball, but Holman introduced concepts ahead of his time. All 5 players touch the ball.
Yep.
Positionless interchange on offense. Oh wow, that's really good. That's interesting. So they weren't in like
everyone played everything.
Spacing and cutting, which is what people play now.
Well, there was no shot clock back then either.
Yeah,
that was the other thing that was huge.
Defensive help rotations and fast break principles before the shot clock era.
Oh, so he did implement some of the fast break.
He coached like modern analytics-driven strategist long before anyone kept advanced stats.
Are you serious? Wow. Analytics?
Well, I don't know if it was what you would call he probably tracked what they did. I don't know if you would call it analytics back then.
Oh, maybe he did like load management. Maybe he did certain things,
or maybe
situationally
he had somebody write down everything they did, right?
Yeah, I mean, he probably got into it. I mean, you were limited with what you could do with film. So I'm sure that he had to have someone chart stuff and do stuff on the fly and then make decisions off of it.
He retired, became a teacher, administrator. Okay.
So he never got a bad name because of this. He was never implicated. Nope. That's amazing to me too.
I have a podcast of 3.
Yeah, I know. It's 2.
I think
I can't believe that he wasn't implicated or didn't know. I don't know how you wouldn't know.
He died at 98 years old.
Wow.
1995 he died. He was born in the 1800s.
Holy shit. I can't wait to watch this documentary.
There's actually a lot of more stuff.
It does.
There's a lot more. You can actually get, I guess these, I don't know, ChatGPT must be pulling it from articles and stuff.
There's a movie called The Basketball Fix, which is on this scandal. And then there's also a documentary called City Dump, the story of the 1951 CCNY Basketball Scandal, which was made in 1998. Which I can't wait. I can't wait to watch it. But
the ancestors. Here you go. The ancestors of his offense. The Princeton offense, the motion offense, the Spurs style ball movement, modern positionless basketball. He insisted on weak side space, side touches, concepts.
So this guy was a true legend.
Things that are kind of used today. His spacing concepts were the bigs flashed high post to pull shot blockers away from the rim, which everyone does now.
You said Nat Holman, right?
Yeah, Nat Holman.
Wow.
He had the wings stay wide and force defenders to cover more ground. This is before 3-point shooting, so there's no reason to. And then guards created horizontal spacing with reverse passes, which is the number one way to get easy points.
So he's in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And he coached CCNY from 1919 to 1959. That is something. 1919 to 1959. And then he coached. He was pissed because CCNY dropped down to Division III.
He played a matchup zone, which was not done back then.
No.
He used a 1-3-1 trap,
which is unheard of.
Done.
No,
I would love to see his I'm going to try and find. It's interesting when someone is so far ahead of their time.
That's way ahead of
great players. Obviously, that helps, but so far ahead of their time, and how
how
a lot of it translates many years later, being so far ahead of the time. Like Wing T, I would say was like that originally.
Well, that's what everyone says. Like disciples of Mike Brown or Bill Walsh,
right?
You can trace roots of coaches, the coaching tree back to them,
right?
Paul Brown disciple. I'm sorry, Paul Brown.
Paul Brown, yeah.
Paul Brown, Bill Walsh. That they were the ones who changed the game. And it says that Holman was untainted by the scandal, and he was described as arrogant and aloof. I mean,
I'm not shocked back then.
I cannot believe that he had no idea this went on in front of him.
It's crazy.
And he wrote books. He wrote 2 books on basketball in 1922 and 1932. about scientific basketball and winning basketball. Now that I would like to read. That I would like to check out. He lived and died at the Hebrew Home for the Aged at the Riverside section of the Bronx. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the nice section of the Bronx.
And he made it into the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's just I can't believe he was so young when he took the job, and he retires in 1959, and he never coaches again. His total record was 405, 150, and 150. He had a 73% winning percentage.
That's crazy. He was Wooden before Wooden.
It is crazy. I mean,
it was
when absolutely insane.
So it says that his offense would not look out of place in today's EuroLeague, the Ivy League, or the Spurs system.
You said it would not look out of place?
No, it would not. So meaning you probably see elements of, is my guess, elements of it.
And wow, he was really pissed. CCNY got hammered after the scandal, and he was furious when they moved down to Division III. I mean, he wasn't coaching then, but
right, of course, that's why he left.
He built the program, and then it goes down to Division III, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I mean,
what a freaking story.
They ran this. This is so interesting what they ran offensively. They ran I
wonder if there's any film. That's what I'm going to look for on the.
That's going to be. They gave me all the diagrams of it. You won't believe what ChatGPT has given me. I can run his whole offense now.
It shows you the motion and everything.
Yeah, you want me to show you? I can probably bring it up.
Just share. Yeah, share your screen. I'd just like to see a couple things, a couple plays, or.
I don't seem to be able to get your current location.
Oh, sorry. I'd love to see a couple current plays or concepts.
Can you see?
Yep.
Close this panel here. All right. This is the first one. His base set, which is high post hub, point guard, two guys on the wing, center at the
half court offense.
Yeah. Center at the, I guess, the free throw line, and then the other guys at the low post. That was Warner and Rowe. Then the diagram 2, entry into the high post, lane passes to Roman in the high post. All 5 players are live cutters or receivers.
They're all moving.
Toward Roman. I got it.
Handoff. Okay. Oh my God. Yeah.
Hands it off. Then he feeds it in. Then they come around. They feed it into
Warner.
From Roth to Warner,
who is the leading scorer.
Then the next play is their backdoor cut
by the wing. Yeah, that's the
Roth cutting.
Offense. Yeah.
And then back ball reversal, which is screen away action, which is done all the time.
Pass and pick away. Yep.
Screen away.
Yep.
Full continuous flow. Oh, that's the flow of it all. I see.
I mean, geez. The box set.
They call it the New York box. I guess it was called the New York box.
That is ahead of its time. That is really ahead of its time. I'm
gonna get me a playbook right now.
I hope the documentary has you're going to put in for the 10-year-olds.
No, because I'm not the head coach, so like
I know
he does what he wants, but I just for my own
for your own edification.
My own fancy, you know.
I want to. I hope that there's film, something on the documentary that shows it.
Let's see if there's
that would be very interesting just to see it live in action.
Oh, I would love to. It's so long ago. It's just like I would love on the wing tee. I would love to get Tubby Raymond's playbook.
Well, that I could get.
Yeah, you probably could get that. Oh well,
That's what we ran in New Hartford.
okay.
That's what Frank and our old head coach went to Delaware, and that's where they got the offense.
Wow.
That they put the Delaware wing tee in because they visited him in the late 80s, I believe. So I guarantee you Frank has it.
There must be
you see elements of it, like Air Force ran a lot of wing tee elements.
1950. Oh, hold on. When did they win? 1950 or 51?
50. Well, maybe it was the 50-51 season, but yeah.
1950 champ. Oh, here it is. Here we go. 1950 New York City College Championship. The city dump. Oh, they have the documentaries online.
Yeah,
Bruce
that's what I'm
Holman.
watching.
Bruce Holman did the documentary. That must be Nat Holman's son.
Yes. That's what I'm gonna watch.
Oh, they were a Cinderella story. So they were not the favorites originally.
Well, if you look at their records before, they started off hot when he was younger, and then they dropped off for a while, and then they got hot again.
I'm just gonna see try to see if this is actually. Yeah.
So you would want to see the Tubby Raymond wing tee more than anything.
What's that?
You want to see the Tubby Raymond wing tee more than anything.
Oh, here. They have clips of it.
Yeah, I figured they would be. They were on TV.
Oh, you guys see, this is interesting.
They were on TV back then. I mean, this shit used to be on network television.
That's crazy.
With the 5 channels.
Right, the 5 channels. Let's see.
And then I'm sure radio, but
1950 final. CCNY versus Bradley. That was who they played.
Is the whole game on? Yeah.
I'm trying to see if this is a whole game or if this is just clips.
I'd love to see if they redid it and made it into color.
This looks like clips. Yeah, this is interesting. Here's some clips.
It'd be if I was a coach and I knew that I could get away with it for like one game and make a mint, I may do it. I don't know.
What's that?
If I were a coach and I knew that I could make a mint by fixing a game, I may do it. Oh my God, it is in color.
18,000 Kent fans and the slow camera see the teamwork that makes Bradley the terror of the court as Bill Mann passes to Paul Unruh, who justifies his reputation.
Wow, look at the stands. This is in the Garden, right?
Yeah, Garden.
I cannot. Oh! I cannot believe the crowd. Look at the people wearing suits.
For the unprecedented double crown, making shots from every angle count.
And the shoot from the outside.
Norm Major knocked cold in that court crack-up, now playing with in his head. City's 11-point lead looks safe, but Bradley, undismayed, comes back as Shanaka scores. It takes
Oh
City
my
teamwork
God.
to cancel the damage, with Floyd Lane making the play pay off.
Floyd Lane.
City leads by a single point with 30 seconds to go. New York fans have their
There's the
hearts in their mouths
handoff.
as Gene Melchiori, the night's top scorer, drives in for the shot that can win. But City's great captain, Erwin Dambrot, grabs the ball and hurls it the length of the court to Major. And it's all over but the shouting as the battered Norm Major, playing the game of his life, sinks it. City wins the game, the championship.
I'll tell you this, they don't look much different than
basketball history.
It doesn't look much different than today.
I can't get over the crowd. The people in the crowd are in suits. It's full. And the other team was scoring to win. And they got the steal, fast break, points, championship.
Amazing. Well,
that is amazing. That is amazing.
That's a pretty good Bloodlines and Betrayals.
Yeah, that's a great Bloodlines. I'm gonna go watch the documentary. I'm excited. And Jody's happy, which is good.
Old clips are interesting.
Those are very good old clips. Was that part of the documentary, or you found that separate?
Separate. It might have been like the old days. They used to have you go to the movies and you would have the news they would play before you watch the movie. That was probably
right.
That was probably a newsreel.
Because that was like, that looked remastered. That looked really good. But yeah, I mean, unprecedented. The CCNY betting scandal involving so many schools, so many people, guys getting suspended, permanently banned. I still think it goes on prominently today, and we just don't know it. But wow. For Coach Schuman, showcasepro.org recruiting software. I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.